Today's episode is brought to you by Wireless Zone, located in Dunn's Corners, Westerly, Rhode Island. Wireless Zone in Westerly is an authorized Verizon realtor. There you can find all the latest and newest phones, including the iPhone 13. And if you're in the business for a new phone, you can get up to $440 off your new phone with a trade-in of an old phone. And if you have a broken phone, they have a repair zone. There they can help repair your cracked screen. You need a new battery. They have you covered there in the repair zone. Check out Wireless Zone in Westerly, Rhode Island, located next to the Dunkin' Donuts in Dunn's Corners. All right, on today's episode, I welcome on a special guest and a fellow Westilian, I guess we could call ourselves. Today's guest is Cilley. He's an amateur golfer, a former basketball player, and the Westerly Middle School boys basketball coach. Austin, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Good morning. Yeah, early morning. First time I think I've done an early morning podcast in a long time. How's how you doing? How's the winter treating you so far?
Winter's getting cold. My body definitely doesn't like that, even though I'm young. So it's a little bit of an adjustment, but it's going good. I mean, I'm just waiting for basketball to start up. I can't wait to get back in the gym with the guys, and I think it's going to be a great season. And yeah, just kind of waiting right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's great that you're assistant middle school boys basketball coach. I want to jump before we get into talking about your coaching career and the golfing and everything like that. You were one hell of a basketball player at Westerly High School. Your second or third time all-time leading scorer in Westerly and scoring. I want to know what made you get into basketball? How did all the basketball things start?
Honestly, just from a young age, I had like the Little Tykes basketball hoop, and it was just a game that kind of like gravitated towards me. Played soccer when I was really young, and then I transitioned from soccer to football. They were in the same season. Basketball was always in the winter, always played it. And then I played baseball, which was my worst sport growing up by far. I just could not get a hit. I don't know what it was with the game, but I was terrible. So then just stopped playing baseball because it was more frustrating than fun. And then played football growing up, and I was literally heading to tryouts my 8th grade year, going into 8th grade, and I was on my way. I was probably 2 minutes from the football field, and I was like, you know what? Like, I just want to focus all my time on basketball. I was pretty good at the time for my age, and I just wanted to focus on one thing. And so from then on, basketball was it. I played basketball every day. Everything was about getting better, and yeah, I just feel like it was a game that I just gravitated towards. I loved every aspect of it, and just wanted to pursue it and see where it would get me.
Yeah, and it's great. It got you far, and it obviously transitioned to golf down the line. But I want to, when you played at Wesley High School, and you started creeping up on the all time scorers list at the time. What was that feeling like? That run at Wesley High School, and then as well to creep up on that list?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I wanted to become 1,000 point scorer. That was one of my goals going into high school, but I also wanted to win a state title. Everything was about winning. So I tried to do everything I possibly could to win every game that we played. I tried to do my part, and along with that came some accolades, which were great. I was a 3-point shooter, so the 3-point records they just kind of came. It wasn't something that I like tangibly thought about. It was just something that kind of happened with the way that I played. But then once like I hit my 1,000 point, it was a couple games into my senior year against my former assistant coach, Coach O'Malley, who's a great guy. He taught me a lot and really pushed me. Once that happened, I was like, I want to say like 300 and something points away from the all-time record. And basically, I just wanted to. I just kept my foot on the ground and kept trying to be the best that I could each and every day. And eventually, it just the points totaled up, and it ended up happening. And the feeling of it was unbelievable. It's something that you work so hard for. You obviously want to obtain um, goals and records, but you can't really see it at the time. You just kind of go and do it, and hopefully they catch up.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy that you were able to do that. And I remember when I was coaching I was coaching at Wheeler at the time, and I remember I would call in the Wesley Sun. They would be like, "You got to see this Austin Cilley kid play basketball, all this stuff," and so it's very interesting. I always heard your name come up, go to a couple tournaments, and watch you play. You were a hell of a player.
Thank you.
Obviously, great things that happened in your career at Wesley. I also want to know too, in the Wesley community, and sorry for the listeners, I'm probably going to talk about the Wesley community here on this one, but
No, no, wait,
no,
no worries.
in the Wesley community, we have the big holiday tournament. What's it like to be a part of that tournament that like it just sells out the gym? It's like standing room only in certain situations. What's it like to play in that environment?
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, it's really for like small towns in the surrounding area, that gym gets so loud and just it gets packed. It's it's a big gym, but like with 3 4 different towns into that one gym for those couple days, it's a crazy atmosphere to play in. It's why you play the game though.
Yeah.
Like it's something that it's hard to it's hard to put into words, and it's hard to imagine unless you're there or on the court while everyone's screaming, and whether it's whether it's booze or whether it's cheers, like it's something that is like I'll never forget. And it was an awesome atmosphere, and I love playing in front of, I don't even know how many people fit in that gym. Probably a couple thousand. 1,000 maybe. So yeah, it was great. The atmosphere is awesome, and then just playing for a title obviously is something that is always a driving force.
Yeah, definitely. And then so you ended up playing basketball at Rick. What was the decision to go to Rick, and what was the first season like playing basketball there?
All right. Yeah. So I hold myself to a very high standard. So my goal coming out of high school was to go to the highest division school that I could, and whether it was for the experience or whether it's to play, it's just that Division 1 schools travel the country and play basketball. What kid doesn't dream about that? So I started the whole application process very late for college. So I didn't have really any offers at all. And it was pretty tough for me because I felt like I deserved it, and I felt like I wanted to pursue it in that aspect. Um, Really, Rick and CCRI were the only two options that I had. I met at a couple prep schools to see if I could do a post grad year. But this was mid to late January, my senior year, and it was kind of too late at that point. So I decided Rick had a great track record. They were winning championships every year. So I decided to go there, and had a pretty good freshman year. Walked in and basically started right away. I worked really hard to get into that starting lineup. We played PC in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
The first game of the year basically, and that was awesome, playing at the dunk and just walking onto that court with the lights, and you're playing against an NCAA tournament Providence team.
Yeah.
Like they can't get any better than that. So that was awesome. Kind of playing with Bryce Cotton at the time, who was their star. Chris Dunn was on his way up. So it was an awesome experience to share the court. Luckily I played well. So that was an awesome experience to kickstart my college career. Then we went and we won our conference championship that year. But the kicker in that was I had broken my back the first week in January.
Jeez.
So my legs were just numb. They didn't really do what I wanted them to do. It was a very weird feeling. So literally had days where like I had to kind of pick my legs up off of my bed to put them on the floor. That type of, it was pretty severe. So, I found out the week leading up to our conference championship. So I played 6 weeks with it.
Wow.
Helped the team as much as I could. And we ended up getting to the conference championship game. And then I had to shut it down probably, I want to say like 3 days before the conference championship game. So yeah, that was pretty devastating. It was a very dark place. That I got to. So I tried to do rehab and I tried to come back the next year, but it kind of was inevitable that I needed to get surgery. And I ended up scheduling surgery in October and having it January of my sophomore year.
Wow. How did you break your back? Like what happened? Was it playing basketball when it happened, or how'd that go?
Yeah. So we're in practice and we were doing this rebound, like box out rebounding drill. And we had 4 or 5 guys on the perimeter and we had 4 or 5 guys in the paint, just circling up, moving around. When the shot went up, we had to find the nearest body and put a body to him and box him out. So, I got matched up with our center in the drill and, I basically found him, put a body on him, was boxing him out. But I mean, I'm not the tallest person and he's probably a foot taller than me. So he jumped up to grab the rebound and my back was against him. So when he jumped up, I kind of lost my footing and I fell down and it was in like a sit and reach position. And when he came down, he landed on me.
Oh,
so
God.
What the doctor said was that, my spine basically just compressed and the pressure of all of the vertebrae coming together, it finally just, the pressure gave out my L5 vertebrae.
Oh.
So, so I had L5S1 back fusion. Definitely the best decision I've ever made in my life. I did a year of rehab to try and go to any other avenue instead of surgery. But it ended up being just surgery was the only way to fix it.
So what was the road to recovery from surgery? And I know it's like having a major injury like that and losing out on a sport that you play obviously sucks, but like, and especially a major injury. So what was the road to recovery for yourself and kind of like, how did you get self up every day?
Yeah. So I started rehab literally the week after our conference championship.
Yeah.
With a broken back, obviously, but I was working on all core strength and all core stability. So I did that religiously throughout the whole year, trying to make a comeback. I played in the summer league at CCRI, trying to see if I could play. And it just really was like, my body wasn't the same,
Yeah.
So with doing rehab the whole year before I had the surgery, it helped tremendously because my whole body, my whole core was strong. So I had surgery in January and it wasn't the greatest time in my life. I was very down. I mean, basically the first love of my life really got taken away. And so I didn't really have a sense of direction. And so it ended up being probably 5 months down the road. So June-ish. It wasn't like a strenuous recovery.
Yeah.
And I think that the the rehab before really expedited the process.
Yeah.
So I kind of just started playing golf. I was sitting with my parents one day, and I'm thinking about like what I should do next and what the next move is. And I was planning on just going to school Tuesdays and Thursdays, having a full schedule in that sense, and then just trying to find like a part-time job, make some money, pay off my debt, and go from there. And I played golf growing up a little bit, with my dad on the weekends. I was fairly good, like never really worked at it. Played a couple. I played, I think, two junior events my whole life, just on a whim to take my break off of
Yeah.
basketball for the off season. And my dad was like, "Listen, like you have your whole life to work, like you don't have to go and get a job right now. We support you. Why don't you just go try and play golf? We'll see what happens." And so that was all I needed to hear, really. And I kind of picked up my sticks and tried to have my career take off as best as possible.
Yeah, that's crazy, and what a great transition to golf. I mean, you played at Rick, right, for golf as well too?
Yeah, I played at Rick, and it filled my competitive void.
Yeah.
Like I was always competing. I had a winter where I didn't compete in anything, and it's like I don't know why. Like it's hard to it's hard to get up every day because you feel like you're not being productive. Like at
Yeah.
least that's how I felt. So it fueled that fire again, which I really needed. And it was a tough transition though. I didn't play right away. I played in 3 or 4 events my first year playing in golf at Rick for golf. So that was kind of tough because I was always used to playing every minute of every game as much as I could,
Yeah.
So
What's that like? So like I know I feel like you had something taken away from you, and it sucks. Like you're not used to doing it in the winter, and then you get back to the competitive edge of golf. Like how many rounds did you play to actually get to where you are today as like a golfer, especially in college, to get yourself to playing more events?
oh my God, from when I started to now,
Yeah.
I don't even know how many rounds. I can't even
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can put a number on it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's not only the rounds, but it's the practice time. Like
Yeah.
I would spend time just like practicing, just filling it. So but yeah, the transition, I mean, that's how life is, you have ups and downs. Sometimes you get redirected. You don't want it to happen, and it doesn't fill what you've been trying to do. But unfortunately, that's how it goes. So what are you going to do? You're going to falter, and you're just going to not try and figure out a solution, or not try and figure out a way to fill whatever you need to fill. So yeah, it was a hard transition with not playing, but work ethic is everything. So if I could, I had a redo in a sport basically. So I just transitioned my work ethic from basketball into golf, and it is a little different. And reflecting on it now, the past couple months, I've been reflecting on it a little bit. Definitely, golf is a way different sport, mentally than basketball, and physically in a sense. And you need a lot of resources in golf to really give it your best effort. But you also have to practice with a purpose, which I don't necessarily do, but I'm transitioning into doing that. And that's part of the reflection process, that I've been kind of having to endure right now. And, but yeah, I mean, it's a never ending cycle. You're always trying to get better. There's no perfect in golf. So you just try and put your best foot forward every day, and see where the chips may fall.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. You bring up a good point of how like life never takes like throws you obstacles in life, and it's like how you as a person can you get through that adversity and take those obstacles with stride and be able to get over them and to conquer something else, or keep going forward and not let it get you down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what
Yeah. I
oh
mean, yeah, I mean, I just think that like life is full of curveballs, like there's always something that's going to come up that is going to alter one thing or another. So, and dark times always lead to light times, So, um, through your darkest times and through your where you don't think you're doing the right things, or um, those are really the times where if you keep pushing, you're going to level up, and you're going to get to that next step that you need. You're going to get to that next level that you need to get to, and that's just the cycle of life. That's always going to happen. And when you can push when you can push through that, and you can kind of dig deep into yourself and say, no, I'm not going to give up now, I'm going to keep pushing, there's always better that comes from it. So I think that's a huge lesson that I've learned. I mean, you just got to kind of redirect your energy, redirect where you want to go and what you want to do, but there's other options and other ways to do the things you need to do. There's
Yeah.
not just one way.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome they have that attitude, and I mean, I definitely want to talk more about the golf, but the reflection that you're having with everything, and you're thinking about, and your attitude is just very motivating of like how you are handling the process, and I think it's great that you're in coaching these our school like in the coaching system because I
Yeah.
think it helps out these kids because there's you need that positive energy because like the way you look at it you can take it a wrong way, you take it a good way, but it looks like, that
Right.
injury could have ended you. You could have not done anything, but you bounce back from it. And now even with the reflection process of what you're doing, you have like a great outlook on everything.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the coaching the kids and everything. I mean, it's something that I'm able to help them along the way, and there's room at the table for everyone to be successful.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a you can get this. It's everybody in the world can have what they want if they work for it, and they put the right pieces in order. So I don't know. I think that's part of I think that's why us humans, like that's why our life, we can be so much more prosperous if we can help others and help others succeed. And I think that's one of my purposes, just helping people as much as I can, especially the younger generation. It's awesome to see and awesome to be around. I mean, I'm a little kid at heart. I goof around and I play as much as I can. So it's yeah, it's fun. It's I mean, life is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a strenuous thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's a really good outlook on it. I want to add like I'm sure I'll talk more about the golf, but I want to ask about the coaching and what that's been like for you just to get that experience to give back to community because someone of your magnitude, a great basketball player, and just listen to you speak right now, just of how great of a motivator you are. What's that like to just be able to give back to the kids and see the joy that they get out of a sport that you've gotten joy out of?
Yeah, it's awesome. My first year, well, actually, when I was at the high school, it was really cool because I was younger. I was the youngest on the coaching staff, so like I could connect with the kids on a more personal basis, but I could also use that to get the best out of them. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then going down to the middle school, it's like you got to teach the kids the fundamentals. Like
Yeah.
it's very basic, but you can have fun doing it, and to see their progression from the first tryout to the middle of the season to the end of the season, what they can accomplish. It's just an awesome feeling. My first year down at the middle school, we went 14-0. We had a really good, a very good team, and every part of that team helped us get to that point. Like practice, everyone was going at each other, and just making it a competitive atmosphere so that when they get into games, they're not nervous. They just go out and play and try and um, try and give what we give them and put it out on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to that you guys have that. I know Coach Chamatero was coaching middle school when I was in middle school too as well too, and he
Yeah,
always puts like great teams together. I feel like every time he's coached a basketball team, and that's awesome that you and him are working together and coaching together. So I'm sure the kids are getting the best benefit of everything.
yeah, it's been really fun. It's crazy that like it's cool to coach with someone that coached you.
Yeah.
It's a very cool experience. So yeah, we're enjoying it. We're looking forward to the upcoming season coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When do you guys start for the season?
December 6th is our first tryout slash practice. So it's a little later this year. I don't know. It's better than last year with COVID. We didn't start till I want to say January.
Yeah,
So yeah, this year is going to be a lot better, and yeah, we're just gonna try and work hard and see what we can come up with.
that's awesome. Well, best of luck on the season. That'd
Thank you.
be great to see you guys make a run at it again, as always. Now I want to ask too, like, what's been the amateur golf life been like? How has it been being like playing in tournaments and stuff? I've seen you highlighted in some things on the amateur tour website as well too.
Yeah, like I said before, like it fills that competitive um, fire that I needed. I've made some great connections throughout Connecticut and Rhode Island with all the guys that I play with and play against, and I mean the summers are jam packed with tournaments. I feel like every week I have something going on, which is it keeps me busy. It keeps me moving forward, which I like a lot. So yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. The Making the tri-state team the past couple years, which is Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. We all come together and play like a kind of a Ryder Cup type format. One day's alternate shot. We play 2 rounds alternate shot, and then the next day is singles. Then the point totals just add up, and whoever has the most points wins throughout the 3 states. So that's been fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a blast. I feel like um, the connections are awesome that you make throughout sports, and especially throughout golf. So many businessmen play golf and make deals. I hear it all the time, and um, yeah, it's just been awesome.
That's great. That's so cool that you have that experience. I mean, in both sports, being able to be such a compete at a high level in both sports and to like make those connections in sports. Yeah, golf is very funny. I feel like that's like a lot of people I know, like people that are in like businesses always like take their clients out on the golf
Yeah,
course. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's nice. It's definitely good. And then every time I see your name in a tournament, I know I have to watch out for your team when I play in like a four ball, like those fundraising tournaments. Every time I see your name, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh boy, here goes there goes our chance of
that's funny.
winning. Yeah. But awesome. This has been a lot of fun, man. I mean, your journey through sports and where life has taken you this here today and where everything has been, it's been absolutely amazing, and just you're such a great motivator and things that you've accomplished and overcome in life. And like you could have gave up on the back injury, but now you're a great golfer, and you're coaching kids and you're doing great things around the community. It's awesome to see what you accomplished and completed.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've definitely enjoyed it, and definitely hope to continue it as long as I can.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I got one more question for you before we end this interview. It's the question I ask everyone, especially someone with your busy schedule. I'm kind of interested to see what you like to do outside of what's your favorite thing to do outside of golf and sports?
Oh boy. Um, Honestly, just probably relaxing with family. Like you're on the go. I feel like you're on the go all the time. You're always trying to, like, you're always looking at what's next and what's ahead, and um, just kind of being present is something that I think is very valuable. I saw that in the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. It was forget who said it. I think it was his trainer, but it was the best quality that he had, and was that he was present at every moment. He was never looking behind him. He was never looking forward. He was always right in the now. And I've had conversations with one of my golf buddies, Tommy McCormick, about it, and he has it posted in his office. And it's so true. I feel like being present with your family, being present, and being grateful and thankful, especially this time of year, really comes out with Thanksgiving coming up, with Christmas coming up. So I feel like just just being able to be with your family is my favorite thing to do, other than um other than playing sports. But I mean, it's always a topic that comes up even with the family, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really get me away too much. But yeah, I think that's my favorite thing to do. Just being able to relax with family and have some quality time is you can't really get enough of it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I completely understand that. I'm right there with you. It's always nice to be with family and, like you said, being the present and now, and not to think about what's ahead or what's behind you.
All right.
That's awesome. Well, Austin, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'm glad that we're able to finally do this episode. So it's
Yeah,
great speaking with you.
yeah, it's been a long time coming for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's been, but I'm happy to have you on the show. And anytime you'd like to be on the show or uh, be a guest or co-host, be happy to have you on the show for that.
great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too.